It's the Dave Cat Podcast. The Dave Cat Podcast.
Oh, this NFL offseason just keeps going on and on and on with all these trades. We have an emergency pod. I didn't plan on actually doing anything this weekend, but with the trades that just happened, I think there's a little bit that needs to be talked about because it seems like the 49ers are officially going to draft a quarterback. We need to talk about that immediately. It looks like the Eagles look like they're trading back, and then it looks like the Dolphins, they were going to trade back, but then they're trading back up, so they might be getting a playmaker and a Kyle Pitts, or they may be getting a Jamar Chase, or maybe even a Sene Puel, or Penei Sewell. There's a lot that's going on right now. But Seth, when you first heard that the Miami Dolphins were trading out of that 3 spot for Tua's sake, does that mean he is the guy going forward? Do you think that they might still bring in some competition at 6 on him, or later on in the draft when they draft at 18, hoping a Mac Jones or another quarterback maybe in there? Like, what was your first mind? Like, you know that they're not going to get one of the top quarterbacks or the prospects, but they're trading down now, and they traded back up. So what do you think it is for Tua? They're getting more picks, but what is it for Tua?
I think exactly what they did is that they were in love with Zach Wilson, is I think what was going on at number 3. And I think they were waiting as long as they could to just see if maybe the Jets were going to change their minds. And I think the Jets are sold on him pretty much. So I think Miami's like, okay, we're not going to get the guy we love, so let's trade down. They got a couple first-round draft picks for it. I mean, it was a great trade for them. They ended up down to 12, then back to 6. I think, like, you're right. I think they're going to look at a Kyle Pitts or a playmaker on the outside and just roll with Tua, because I think they wanted Zach Wilson, and knowing that the Jets are going to take him, I think that's why they made this move. I think it was great for them, dude. I mean, you went from 3 to 6. You added 2 first-round picks, a third this year. I believe a third this year was. I mean, I think it was an amazing trade for them, dude. They jumped all over that. It was a smart move.
Yeah, so do you think that Tua can hold off a quarterback that they either are going to draft later on in the draft, not maybe immediately, or do you think that they're just going to let him go by himself and take over this offense with a Jamar Chase or Devonta Smith or Jalen Waddle or even, like I said, a Kyle Pitts?
It's so hard. I think, personally, I think they're going to roll with Tua and just try to surround him with what he needs to win. I think they're going to, like you said, take someone on the outside or maybe get a Kyle Pitts and surround him with the talent he needs. And then maybe, because if that's not the answer and then they have all this talent, then they know next year they can go out and get a quarterback somehow, some way, and they're ready and all they need is a quarterback away. Maybe that's what they're going to do. Surround Tua, see if he can take you to where you need to go, and if he can't, then you bring in someone that can next year, and you already got the team that's ready to go for him.
So it looks like the Dolphins first are trading the number 3 pick to the 49ers, who move up from 12 to 3 in exchange for the 12th pick this year, a first and a third pick next year, and a first-round pick in 2023. So they're trading 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick to move up from 12 to 3. Then Miami again turns one of those first-round picks, moving up from 12 to 6 to the Philadelphia Eagles, dealing the 12th pick, the 123, and their 2022 first-round pick to the Eagles for the number 6 pick this year and the number 156 in this year's draft. So the Miami Dolphins are accumulating picks and still in a top 6 pick. They only dropped 3 spots, gaining a first and a third, basically. Right. Was it worth it in your eyes if you think Tua's the guy?
I think, like I told you, man, I love the trade for them. Just on the draft capital alone.
But do you think they're making a mistake, though?
What's that?
Do you think they're making a mistake by not securing a Justin Fields?
Well, I love Justin Fields, but, I mean, I love it. Look, if I'm them and I love Zach Wilson and that's who I wanted, and I don't like these other guys, Fields or the other one, then you know what? If I couldn't get the guy I loved, then you got to, like I said, maybe this is what they wanted. They wanted Zach Wilson that much. They didn't believe in the other guys as much. I mean, And all the draft capital. Then they only move down 3 spots. I really like the
So
trade
they
by
can
them.
still get Trey Lance or Mac Jones to the 6th
Right.
spot if they really wanted to.
Or Justin Fields. Justin Fields might be there at 6 still.
I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to pick up a Jamar Chase, a Penny Sewell, or Kyle Pitts. I think they're going to
That's
take
what I
who's ever
do.
left over from whoever the Falcons pick. And speaking of the Falcons, we'll get to that when I get to my mock draft because I'm going to ask you a specific question when we get to the Falcons about who they may select at that number 4 spot. But looking at the 49ers, they're saying they came out immediately and said that Jimmy Garoppolo is their starter, that he is the number 1 guy going into 2021.
Well, technically he is right now because the draft hasn't happened yet.
So I guess they're not lying.
Right.
They're not lying. So I guess you're right there. But do you honestly believe he's going to be the starter?
I don't see why they would have jumped to 3 to get anybody else but a quarterback. To me, that team's a quarterback away. And, Jimmy Garoppolo is still tradable.
Right.
Still tradable. Someone will trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe a 3rd-round pick. He's got value.
He's probably going to the Patriots. I still think the Patriots are in play. I think they're probably going to have to give up 2nd-round pick again.
I think that's what they're doing. Like we said, they didn't lie. Technically, right now, he is their starter going into the season, but the draft hasn't happened yet. So, yeah, there's no one else on the roster to be the starter right now. But after the draft, let's talk again because I think the only reason they move up and give away all that draft capital, they know they're a quarterback away. I think it was a great move for them. If I'm a 49ers fan, I'm very excited now. I'm very excited.
So what do you think about the Eagles? They're trading back from 6 to 12, and in return, they're receiving the number 12 pick, the number 123, and a 1st-round pick next year. So they're gaining a 1st-round pick, and then they're getting, they're swapping the 156 and the 123, which is a whole round. You're looking at the 4th-round pick right there. So they're getting a 4th-round pick or a late 3rd with all the comp picks. It's a comp pick. That's what it is. It's the solid comp pick.
That's right.
So
whose pick do they get next year?
Who's that? Philadelphia's?
Yeah.
They are getting Miami's 1st-round pick next year.
Well, damn. That's probably not going to be a top.
It's either that or the 49ers pick.
Man, so that's probably not going to be a very high pick. Maybe could be late if it's the 49ers.
So they dropped 6 spots, getting them out of the sweepstakes for a Pitts, Chase, or Sewell.
I don't know,
they're
man.
gaining a mid to late 1st-round pick.
Yeah, I don't know. That don't make much sense to me. But the Eagles
they're swapping a 5th for a 4th. So they're gaining a whole round from the 5th to the 4th this year, and they're gaining a whole 1st-round pick next year.
I guess, but I don't know.
I think when you think about it this way, like if they're comfortable with Hurts, that's not too bad. They're getting a whole 1st-round pick. And if they're comfortable with some of the weapons that they already have, they don't care about Sewell, they don't care about Kyle Pitts, and they don't care about Jamar Chase because one of those 3 would be available right there. And maybe possibly 2 of the 3 may be available at that spot.
They should care about that because that's what they lack is talent.
Well, I understand, but I'm saying coming from their end. If you're thinking from a Philadelphia Eagles front office, if they're comfortable with a lot of the weapons that they have, especially at the tight end position, and then you look at the wide receivers, they can use some desperate help there. But it's a little deep, so they can get another wide receiver at 12. And then when you look at it from their the offensive line, sure, you can always use a Penny Sewell. Anyone could use a Penny Sewell. I don't care who you have on your roster. But
maybe they're thinking they can get Devontae Smith at 12 still. Who knows?
Well, they can in my mock draft. So let's go ahead and talk about my mock draft 2.0 after this trade, and that Trevor Lawrence is still, in my opinion, going number 1. And Zach Wilson is solidified number 2. And then this is where I think it gets a little crazy. I think at 3 with the San Francisco 49ers trading up, they're going to take Trey Lance and let Jimmy Garoppolo start. Let Trey Lance sit behind him for the year and then turn him loose on the NFL next year. He's got a lot of raw talent. I think
he's going to play time next year because we know Garoppolo is going to miss a couple games next year.
That's a given. I think that he has a little bit higher ceiling than Justin Fields. But Justin Fields is more pro-ready today, in my opinion. But Trey Lance has a lot of talents that I like. Don't get me wrong. This is nothing against Justin Fields. Great athlete. But Trey Lance is a big dude, and he can take some hits and chuck the ball deep. and he's
Well,
not inaccurate really. So yeah, he didn't have a whole lot to show when he played at North Dakota State in only one game this year as well. But he's got, I think, with Kyle Shanahan, he could turn him into a raw talent, into a starting NFL caliber quarterback, and even further, possibly Pro Bowler, and see playoff victories from there. Now, when you look at San Francisco at 3, do you prefer Justin Fields in that spot, or do you like the prospect of a more pocket quarterback of a Mac Jones or even a Trey Lance in that spot at 3?
definitely not Mac Jones or Jimmy Lance, but yeah, I think it's going to be Trey Lance or Justin Fields. I I agree with everything you said about Trey Lance. I think that he could develop into be a better quarterback than Justin Fields. You're right. I think, but man, see if San Francisco wants to win now, they might want to go with the guy that's more pro ready. Because everything you said about Trey Lance is true with Justin Fields. He's big, he can take hits, he's fast.
Yeah.
He runs like 4.40. I mean, those guys were really close as far as talent goes. So I think either way they go, they're not going to be bad off. But if they are going to keep Garoppolo, I think they will go with Trey Lance. But if they want to, because I think Justin Fields, if you bring him in, I think more people would be, start Fields. And with Trey Lance, it might not even be yelling that so much. But who knows? If you take a quarterback at 3 and you lose and you're 1-4, you're 1-3, you know what's going to happen. Everybody's going to be yelling to start that quarterback no matter who it is. Take a guy at number 3.
And they could be going into an awful situation if you're starting off 1-4. There might be injuries in the offensive line or in the wide receivers or all over the defense where you're always out there. There could be a lot of situations where if he's thrusted into a starting role, and it's a bad situation, then I think that it could be bad for him. But
I agree with you. If, like you said, if they're 1-3, then it's probably a bad situation. But man, that team, if that team's healthy, man,
right,
and you just so much talent around you stepping in there. You have probably the best tight end in the game right now.
So if you're them, you're right.
I mean,
so you're taking Fields and then you're just dealing Garoppolo immediately, right?
I think if they take Fields, you have to.
Yeah, you have to right then and there. He's going to be dealt that night. I think Jimmy Garoppolo's not traded until that draft night, until after a quarterback has been selected.
I mean, maybe I could see some situation where if that would happen, the Patriots get Garoppolo, then they're not worried so much about Mac, and the Bears end up with Mac.
And then the Patriots can use the 15th overall using something else. Right, exactly.
Yeah, I could see that happening, and that'd be nice.
Sure. No, so moving on to the Atlanta Falcons, this is where it can get a little different as well. They could go quarterback right here and get Justin Fields. But
I've been hearing a lot of people think they might.
Right, and I think they could. And if they do, they could trade Matt Ryan right there. And
I don't know if they would trade him or if
New Orleans
would watch for a year.
What about New Orleans? That first-round pick.
I think Justin Fields, that would be the best thing for him, literally, if he got drafted to Atlanta and got to sit this behind Matt Ryan.
That's what I'm saying. So what if they draft Justin Fields at 4 and then trade Matt Ryan to the Saints for their 28th pick? If you're the Saints, would you do that?
I think that Sean Payton would, but I don't know if I would.
He's got maybe a year or two. He's still a good quarterback.
And Sean Payton, I think Sean Payton would do that in a second.
Because he could still probably throw for 5,000 yards.
Yeah, and he would love having someone like Matt Ryan. I mean, let's be honest. Sean Payton is a very good play caller. He can come up with some great offensive play calls.
Would you? Right. No, I totally agree with you. So
yeah,
would you be really surprised if Matt Ryan's a New Orleans Saint?
No, not at all. If Atlanta takes a quarterback, definitely not.
Do you see any other team that would more fight for him? You think
Matt
Chicago?
Ryan.
You think Chicago would offer the 20th?
Oh, for sure. I think they would.
You think they would?
Yeah, but I don't know if Matt Ryan would want to go to Chicago, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah, Allen Robinson in that defense.
Yeah, but you're playing in Chicago outside in December, boy. That's a lot different than playing down there.
Playing in the dome. Yeah, well, yeah, if they went up to him and said, "We love you. These are our offers. It's the 20th and the 28th pick. It's a lot better if we get the 20th, but we respect you so much. We'll let you choose." Then I think he would probably choose the Saints.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think he would because you still get a Michael Thomas. No matter how bad everyone thinks he might have gotten, you still got Alvin Kamara. You can get another tight end in the draft. They have a decent offensive line. They have Sean Payton.
I wouldn't give up on Michael Thomas yet, man.
No, me neither. No. So I think that it wouldn't be
Last
surprising if he's
year,
traded.
yeah, last year was a wash. He was hurt off and on. He wasn't happy. He got in that scruffle with his teammate. I just think that Michael Thomas is not done. Believe me.
And do you still think Matt Ryan's worth a first round pick? He's
No,
36.
he's too old. I think, man.
But do you think these teams would give up a first round pick?
Some might. The Bears might.
I mean, because you have to go all in, right?
Right.
I mean, I would give up a first round pick and please give me like a third or a fourth round back, and then Matt Ryan, please. And I'll give you fucking Foles. He can be your backup. We've already paid him. You're paying him nothing. So, yeah, I wouldn't. Right.
Backup,
So, how do you feel about Penei Sewell in Atlanta with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and company for one more year? You're getting one of the best tackles in recent history, prospect.
It definitely help him.
I think that would really help him as well. I think a Kyle Pitts or a Penei Sewell would really help him. No wide receiver, though. Bengals, I'm having them draft Jamar Chase to replace A.J. Green.
I hope not.
I think that would be a great pickup for them. Sure, no, I agree with you as well. It wouldn't be sexy fantasy-wise, but I still think that Jamar Chase would be the pickup right there for the Bengals if Penei Sewell is gone. I don't think there's a tackle worth taking at 5. Either trade down for someone who wants Justin Fields at that point, or you just take Jamar Chase. I think you take Jamar Chase right there. Miami Dolphins, with all the trade rounds, they ended up at 6, where the Philadelphia Eagles were. I think they're taking Kyle Pitts. I think with Kyle Pitts, that's going to give to it some versatile weapons. And I think Kyle Pitts is something that is a quarterback's blanket and something he can check down to. But Kyle Pitts is more than that. He can use Kyle Pitts as a slot receiver and go up one-on-one coverage.
Listen, when you hear Mel Kiper, who I'm going to be real with you, I don't care if you guys like him or not, he probably knows more about college
He's
players.
forgotten more.
Anybody walking the face of this earth, I'm sure he knows more about a college player, football player than anybody does. But he said the other day, was this kid, he's not a once in a, what does he say? Not one like once in a draft talent. He's a once in a decade talent. Kyle Pitts, once in a decade. This guy, he's literally like, if it was based on just talent alone and not need for position, he would be the number 1 pick in the draft.
He would be a top 3 pick, no questions asked.
Yes,
no questions asked.
Yes.
Yeah.
This guy is legit, and I don't know if he'll still be there, but
I think him, Chase, and Puel, or Sene Puel, are those 3 would be up there in the top 3.
Yeah,
because they're really, Swell's the top one of the life, once in a decade tackle prospect, and Jamar Chase is lethal.
The one thing I don't know about Pitts, and you're a Florida fan, so I'm sure you can tell me, is he much of a run blocker?
He's all around. That's why he's rated as high, not just because he can catch balls, but this guy.
I know he's got great speed and can catch.
He's probably above average. He's not. I wouldn't say he's going to be elite at the NFL level, but
he's not going to hurt.
No. He's going to be used. This guy is going to be a top 5. He's going to be a top 5 talent day 1 at tight end. And whether he finishes the season at top 5 with the quarterback play, he's going to be very sought after. Don't be surprised in fantasy and rookie drafts if he's a top 5 pick. I would consider it. So I got that going on to number 7, Detroit Lions taking Justin Fields. This is where the quarterback falls to. I know you hate this pick, but you got to think, man. Think from Detroit Lions fans' point of view.
I agree with you. I could totally see it. I hope for Justin Fields' sake that it doesn't happen, dude.
So this is how I see it. They could still play Goff for the year because they're paying him regardless. And they're not paying Justin Fields anything. And then they can get rid of Goff after this year, still have to pay him a little bit. But in 2 to 3 years, they can have a great system around him if everything plays out with a knee biter. And then, which I don't know if it will or not, but I think that they're going to have to do something right there. They can't really, if Jamar Chase is already gone, they have to take Justin Fields, and they have to start all over at quarterback and start developing him. And when he's ready, put him in when Goff starts messing up, and then they're going to have to throw him in.
But here's the thing about that. we're talking about the Detroit Lions, so they might draft him, but there will never be anything built around him where he can succeed. Just ask fucking Matt Stafford, man. I mean, it's
Barry
just
Sanders, Calvin
that
Johnson.
that franchise is just horrible. Like
Yeah,
I talk about it all the time. You know I do. I think that's literally the worst franchise in football in the past. Well, at least in my lifetime.
right.
Like in my lifetime, I think that's the worst franchise in football. I don't care what anybody says about. Oh, they didn't win one game last year, whatever. I don't care, dude. They still ran horribly. They did go 0-16 in my lifetime. I've seen that too. That's just it's a death sentence for an NFL player to go there. It really is, man.
Right. So we'll see what happens there, but I think they are going to be considering taking a quarterback at that time, and especially if Fields is not gone, they're going to be considering it. If Trey Lance is there, I don't know if they will or not. They might take someone else at that point, but Carolina Panthers at 8 taking a tackle, Slater.
That's who I really wants Justin Fields is Carolina, dude. I think they want him bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina tries to move up to where the Falcons are or the Bengals are.
Listen, I think that would be a great fit for Justin Fields, just because they have Christian McCaffrey. Oh man, could you imagine those two in that option game? Dude?
Right.
The run pass option, the run option. They would be like really really tough. Like it would work out perfect for him. I think that is the perfect fit for Justin Fields, and that's probably why he won't end up there.
If Trey Lance is taken at 3 and Penny Sewell goes at 4, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals trade down to the Panthers and Panthers take Fields at 5.
That would be great, dude. I really think that's his best chance to succeed is in Carolina.
Because to be honest, I wouldn't also be totally shocked if the Dolphins drafted Fields at 6.
I'd be happy with that too.
It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't totally shock me because I don't think Tua's the answer. So it wouldn't totally shock me.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, we're gonna see. Man, you know what? Because listen, the draft really starts at number 2 with the Jets.
No,
I mean,
now
what I'm hearing now, it's really starting at number 3 with the 49ers.
Right.
I mean, from what I'm hearing now, we all know it's Trevor Lawrence number 1. From what I'm hearing now, without a doubt that the Jets are taking Zach Wilson. But we don't know that, but that's what everybody's saying. So really, it sounds like the draft's going to start at number 3. I think quarterbacks could be the first 3 picks in, 4 of the top 6?
Could be.
I
wouldn't be surprised if they went 4 straight.
And here's the thing. We all know this. 5 quarterbacks get drafted in the first 10 picks. Maybe 3 of them are going to be franchise quarterbacks. Am I right? There's no way all 5 are going to be. We know this.
It's one or two of them probably.
Right. I'm going to say maybe 3, but probably 2. And you're lucky if you get 3 of these guys. You got to, I mean, it's a huge thing, man. It's just, this is how this league is. I remember growing up, I mean, you remember this too. It was never like this where it had to be a quarterbacks going. Shit, I remember there'd be defensive players going the first 5, 6, 7 picks of the draft before you'd ever see a quarterback go. It's changed, and I mean, this is what it is now. I mean, it's going to be crazy, man, because I think these teams are going to hop all over these quarterbacks. This is going to be nuts. I can't wait to see it, though. I'm really excited, man.
Right. At 9, the Broncos take Micah Parsons. Great athlete at linebacker. I think that would fit right into what they need. I wouldn't be surprised if they took a quarterback if Fields was available right there. I don't think he will be. If Trey Lance is available right there, I also wouldn't be too surprised, but I don't think that I don't know. I think they're really going to be set on this linebacker or tackle if Slater is there available. But right now, available in my mock draft, Parson goes at 9. Cowboys pay again in my mock 2.0 for the second time in a row. Patrick Surtain at cornerback for obvious reasons. Giants at 11 taking edge rusher Ojulari. I got the Eagles taking Jalen Waddle before Devontae Smith. I think the Eagles love speedy receivers, and that's what Waddle is. This guy, I mean, don't forget me wrong, Devontae Smith's fast, but Jalen Waddle in and out and all around the corners is very speedy. He's a quick receiver. He's great with the hands. He can make things happen after the catch. I think that's the type of athlete that they're looking for with Jalen Hurts. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went Smith, but I think Waddle's the pick here at 12.
I just can't see Devontae Smith falling as far as you got him, man.
Where do you see him falling in your eyes? You can't. Okay, let's start from the very beginning really quick. He's not going 5 to the Bengals.
Okay.
Right. You're taking Chase over Smith?
I mean, look. I mean, I'm definitely taking Jamar Chase, but like we were talking about before we started recording, bro. Like it's a lot of what have you done for me lately? What have I seen lately? And all we seen last year when we watched college football and we watched the national playoffs was Devontae Smith tearing people up, bro. And we seen it all year last year, and nobody saw Jamar Chase. And listen, I've been saying, you can go back and listen. I've been saying that, yeah, Jamar Chase is way more talented. He probably could go before Devontae Smith. But some of these people, man, it's like based on what they just saw, you know, and I just don't know. I just don't think Devontae Smith, I don't know, man. He could be the first one taken. I don't think he will. I agree with you on Jamar Chase. So we can go on to the next, because I think he will. Jamar Chase will be the first one off the board. But I think Devontae Smith will go second.
All right. So let's see. We left off on the
Bengals.
Eagles. Well, no. Yeah. Well, so the Bengals, I don't think the Bengals are taking Smith. I don't think the Dolphins would take Smith. They would take Pitts. Lions might. I think they would consider taking Devontae Smith right there. So that's an option right there. But if Fields is
They do
available,
receivers in the first round.
right, right. No, I know. And then the Panthers, they need tackle really bad. So that's why I got them taking that. Broncos already have, and the Cowboys have too many receivers. Giants just got Galladay. And then that's where the Eagles come into play.
You think they'll take okay.
So then going to the Chargers, they have Keenan Allen and
Yeah, they're gonna bolster their line again probably
right.
anyway.
And then the Vikings, I have them taking Darisaw, the tackle. The Vikings have Thielen and Jefferson. I have them taking Vera Tucker, the guard.
I could taking. Oh, I don't know, man. Maybe taking a receiver and trading Thielen, man.
Right. Patriots, Mac Jones.
Yep.
I got them taking Mac Jones, so I don't see them taking a receiver. Cardinals, they could take a receiver, but they have Hopkins and AJ Green.
If the Patriots got fucking Garoppolo, I could see them taking a receiver.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they did Devontae Smith right there.
Right, dude. That'd be wow.
I could see that.
Wow.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that. But then that's why I have the Cardinals taking a corner, J.C. Horn, and then I have the Raiders taking Devontae Smith at 17. And that's what they need. They need that number one receiver. Ruggs can be that number two speedster.
Oh, by all means. If he's still there, they're going to take him.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
Absolutely. Dolphins taking Kwity Paye. He's the edge rusher. Washington football team taking a tackle, Jenkins. The Bears taking a wide receiver, Rashad Bateman. The Colts taking a corner, Caleb Farley. I really wish that he would follow the Jets at 23. Because I have three corners going in a row. I have Caleb Farley. I have Tennessee Titans taking Newsome the second corner. And then I have the Jets taking Eric Stokes corner. I have the Steelers taking Kosmi, the offensive tackle, because they desperately need some help on the offensive line. Jaguars taking Barmore, the interior defensive lineman. He's more of a defensive tackle on a 3-4. The Cleveland Browns, Jalen Phillips, he's an edge rusher, so they would get bolster more.
More defense?
Dude, to be honest, unless they're going to go wide receiver and trade Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
Like, what else do they really need?
They really don't need nothing on all. Maybe a tight end, dude.
Well, in the first round, though.
Out there for, yeah. Now we're taking in the first round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So at that point, you just keep bolstering that defensive line and keep keep rushing the quarterback. So, and then I have the Ravens, who desperately need safety, taking Morig. I have Saints taking a wide receiver, Terrence Marshall Jr.
Like the manual.
Right, and then I have the Packers at 29 taking a linebacker, Owusu Karamoa, and to be honest, he's a decent all-around linebacker, and I think
or Samoan.
Yeah, I think he would be something that the Packers could utilize on defense and help keep Aaron Rodgers off the field in the defense, or on the field more, and getting the other quarterback off the field more often, because they still need more help on defense.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Then I got the Buffalo Bills taking Najee Harris, running back. I got the Kansas City Chiefs. I was thinking about throwing a running back at them, but if they can take Mayfield, the tackle, at 31, which he may not be available at that spot, but if he is, I think they're going to take him to get a tackle. And then to round it all off, the Buccaneers taking Travis Etienne, running back at Clemson.
Yeah, I can see Well, shoot. Who'd you say the Buffalo was taking?
Najee Harris.
Yeah, they're gonna need a running back.
Where's he
Definitely
going in rookie drafts if he's going to Buffalo, where they desperately need a number one starter?
depends on what you need. I mean,
Top 5?
probably. Yeah, I'd take him. I would take Pitts before him probably though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it depends on what you need, really, honestly, bro.
Right. Well, like
But
I
I mean,
said,
yeah,
I think that when you look at the whole thing, it's going to change no matter how we look at it. There's going to be more trades. You know, like we
Right.
said, I think if Matt Ryan could get traded, there's other quarterbacks that could get traded
I
during
still
this.
think there's gonna be a big move made during the draft. Like,
And we still got Watson and possibly Russell Wilson being moved. So-
I'm talking about that. I think someone's gonna trade up to get a quarterback that they want.
Well, that's what I'm
think-
saying. That you have those trades, and then you have other trades that could happen.
I think it's gonna be real interesting. I like it. I mean, this free agent, this offseason's already been crazy, especially like these trading these draft picks in the top 5. Like, we haven't seen this very much, and I just think it's going to continue until the final clock, ticks 0 on the draft. I think it's going to be crazy all night, dude.
Right. So, wanted to do a little emergency pod. We weren't going to do anything, but with all these trades, I just wanted to get it in real quick. We fell just over 30 minutes, so it was what I wanted, basically. And I'm going to do another mock draft probably here in a few weeks, unless I'm big. I was going to do one anyways around the end of March, but with this trade happening or trades happening, I was going to go ahead and just do one regardless, because I had to, the order changed, so I had to get in there and switch it up. So if something else happens in the first round, I'll make another mock draft. But until then, I'll make another mock draft somewhere. If nothing changes, I probably won't make one until towards the end of April, probably a few weeks from now. And then I'll do one on the draft day, because that by then we'll know so much, more about who's looking at who. There'll probably be more trades by then. The Deshaun Watson situation will be known by then, whether if he's going to be traded or not, because he'll be for first round picks this year if he is. So we'll see how it is going up. We'll probably do a podcast next week, starting up on.
You think Deshaun Watson gonna be starting in the NFL next year?
Yeah, I think all this is nonsense.
Really?
I don't know if any of this is gonna stick.
It's so many people, dude. It's just weird.
Yeah, you could get a whole group,
No, you're right. Listen. I'm not saying either way. Like, I love Deshaun Watson, you know that, and I hope for his sake and for the NFL's sake, because let's be honest, the NFL's better with him in it, that this isn't true. But if it's true, I mean, we all know what needs to be done. But man, I hope, man. I hope he's playing next year. I'm just, man.
Right. Well, we'll see.
But I mean, I don't know. Let's hope.
Right. So
I don't know if he's going to get moved now before like this gets resolved.
it'll be rough. So that's why I think he's probably not going anywhere now, because they're not gonna get fair value.
Fuck, maybe the owner of Houston paid all these broads to do this so they could.
There's actually people that believe that.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes a little sense, but who knows? But it's Houston, so they're probably doing stupid stuff like that anyways. So
yeah, we've seen stranger things in the NFL, bro. That's for damn sure.
right. So we'll do something next weekend, unless something big happens. I might do a little something again in between then. But if we don't do something next weekend, it'll definitely be the weekend after, because I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but we'll see what's going on. I'm shooting for next weekend because Monty's wedding's the weekend after, so we might not do something. I'm gonna try to for that weekend as well, but it might get too crazy. Who knows? But until next time, we'll see what's going on in the NFL world. See where all the trades are taking us. So you always stay tuned, because we got those emergency pods coming.